Hello everyone, it's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel, tap the notification bell, and like this video for me. That does help me keep making videos. I mean, that basically encourages me to make more videos, so I would appreciate it majorly. Okay, so I'm done this project, so I didn't like film as I went along, and I'm not even very good at this. But it turned out pretty good. It took me most of the day, pretty much. And I just wanted to put some baseboard, along the wall here at the top steps of the basement leading up to the kitchen for several reasons. Just to protect the drywall, just so it doesn't get all banged up and ripped up when people come in and out of the basement from doing work outside or down in the basement. To kind of keep this capped and tightly, this particular part of the kitchen floor, so it doesn't get pulled up from, that's likely to get a lot of traffic, obviously. So, and, I'm not the greatest at this stuff, but it came out pretty good. There's no way I could show you as I went because I'm terrible with the miter saw, and I have to, I have to recut things over and over, trim off a little, just another little hair, a 16th here, there, etc. And it just keeps going and going. But I'm glad with the way it turned out, and, I even put this, I don't know what this is called. It's not it's not 3/4 round. I don't know what this particular trim is called, but it's throughout the house, so I use the same thing there. I will go over a few of the tools that I use quickly, and the nail gun, the DeWalt nail gun, and I think this is fairly outdated by now, but for me, a lot of people use compressor with nail guns, and this has these 1.5 inch. I have 1.5 inch and 2-inch. This is 18 gauge, and this is also, I think, 18 gauge. For me, this is and I use 2-inch throughout. This gets the job done for me. It really does. For somebody who's an amateur like myself, when I want to do a job like this, most of the pros use compressors, but I'm not real comfortable with that, and they're much more powerful. But I don't need it, The compressor nail guns are for doing, doing a whole house's baseboards, or just doing like roofing and stuff like that. But for me, this works good. And you just load it up in here, put the nails in there, etc. You charge the batteries. It's battery, So, these batteries are terrible. These are the older version. I don't even know if people use these anymore. 18 volt. It says, like L-ion, but I don't think that's like lithium ion. Maybe it is. These are slightly newer batteries, the lithium ones with the Milwaukee, which are actually awesome. These batteries don't lose their charge unless you actually use the tool. And then when it loses its charge, it dies like immediately, whereas these kind of lose their charge even if they're just sitting there, not doing anything, and they don't die like all at once. They literally, the drill just all of a sudden stops working, and it means it needs to be charged. When you charge it, it's charged fully, and it'll stay charged almost completely until you use the tool. So they're way better. But this again does the trick for me. So it's primed and painted now. Looks really good. I'm really happy with it. And it's, that's it. It's done. So, real quick tip for you. One thing I did use, because a lot of times the wood we use for baseboards, it's like common board or pine, usually common board. That's the cheapest thing. And the knots, I guess they have sap in them. They bleed through over and over and over again. I don't even know the name of this. I know it's like a pale green bucket. It's called Fast Dry. Fast Dry. I don't know the name, dude. Fast Dry Prime. It's an oil-based prime. And it's very useful. If you only need a little bit like I did there, a whole can isn't good for you. But it for going over watermarks and things that just will bleed through over and over again for a latex-based paint, which is most paints, almost all paints at this point are latex-based. Latex basically, my understanding is means water-based. Okay, so everything at Home Depot and Lowe's now is all latex-based. They don't have any oil-based paints anymore. They got rid of them because of environmental things. Some states may still have them, but and they used to. They used to have oil-based paints. You could choose an oil-based. They're good for some things, for sure, because they're stronger. It's more chemicals. It's just more. It's stronger for sure. So especially for outdoor, exterior applications, oil-based is much better. But they're gone. And the only place I guess Sherwin-Williams still has all oil-based paints if you choose, but I only use the prime for the most part. The only other time I use an oil-based paint is like the dry lock. Dry lock oil-based is a little bit stronger than just regular dry lock. I'm getting way off topic. My point is that's very useful for watermarks or things that'll just bleed through water-based, latex-based paints over and over. Just a tip. And that's a very common thing, in a home where you had a leak in the ceiling or something that ran down the wall, or some kind of grease mark, that gets into the drywall because it's splattered on or whatever, and that because it's organic, it'll just soak through. It'll bleed through every time with a water-based, latex-based prime and paint. But that does the trick. So it's done. I'm quite happy with it, and that's the story there. That's the story there. I actually used it on this wall, which was that oil-based prime, because it had like some kind of splatter along the bottom that was like oily. And I knew as soon as I started to prime, I'm like, damn. But I had already started it with the latex-based. I went ahead and painted the whole thing with the top coat after the prime, which is a semi-gloss, and it bled through. So I had to go back over it with that oil-based prime, and that covered it. And now you cannot see the blotchy, some kind of something. I was surprised that even painted. I took a risk painting that. This is like old beadboard, but it's not necessarily the kind of paintable beadboard you get at Lowe's now. It almost has like a wallpaper type surface. That's part of the beadboard. But it's a paper-like surface. Wasn't sure if I could paint it, and I just took a chance. I didn't have any extra. I used to have extra sitting on the floor in there, but I trashed it all before, so I couldn't test it. I had to test it on that wall, but it came out good. Anyways, goodness. All right, well that's it, man. That's it. The baseboard's done, and I'm happy with it. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. See you in the next video. Later, man.